Speak these 10 powerful phrases daily, and you will begin to rewire your brain, not through magic, but through science, discipline, and intention. The words you say shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. Your actions, repeated over time, build the identity you live by. You are not stuck. You are not limited by your past. You are rewiring, rebuilding, and reprogramming your mind, one phrase, one breath, one day at a time. I am in control of my focus. When you speak this aloud, you're taking ownership of your attention. In a world built to distract you, mastering your focus is your power. Your brain listens to what you prioritize. Say it, believe it, and watch how your concentration sharpens. I get stronger through discomfort. Growth is not found in ease. It's built in resistance. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to rewire your brain for resilience. When you embrace the hard things, you teach your nervous system not to run, but to rise. I am the architect of my habits. You are not defined by yesterday's choices. Neuroplasticity means your brain is capable of change at any age. By repeating this phrase, you affirm your power to build routines that serve your future, not sabotage it. My breath grounds me in the present. Say this when the noise gets loud. Your breath is your anchor. It signals your nervous system that you're safe, that you're calm, and that you're in control. Every inhale resets your state. Every exhale clears your mind. I choose actions that align with my values. Your brain craves alignment. When your actions match your core values, you create mental clarity and inner strength. This phrase reminds you to live with intention, not reaction. I can reframe any thought. Your brain isn't hardwired to be negative. It's wired to protect. But with awareness and repetition, you can reframe fear into courage, failure into learning, and stress into energy. Speak it and watch your mind evolve. My identity is shaped by what I do daily. You are not what you say once, you are what you practice. Habits aren't small, they're everything. Remind yourself daily that your identity is built, not inherited. I move forward, no matter how small the step. Progress is not about speed, it's about direction. Tell your brain that forward is forward, and you'll build momentum, even on the hardest days. My environment supports my growth. From the people you speak to the space you wake up in, your brain is shaped by your surroundings. Speak this phrase and begin curating a world that reflects your goals. I am becoming who I am meant to be. This is not a wish, it's a process. Say it like a promise. Each day you commit to growth, your brain reshapes itself to match your vision. These 10 phrases are more than words. They're neural commands. Speak them daily, not just with your mouth, but with your actions. Let them embed into your system, and they will guide your choices, your energy, your confidence, and your future. You are not repeating affirmations. You are giving your brain instructions to build a better you. One phrase, one moment, one decision at a time. Keep speaking them, keep becoming. The words we speak hold immense power, not only over our emotions and decisions, but also over the very structure of our brains. Science confirms that the brain is not static, it is dynamic and constantly evolving through neuroplasticity. This means it rewires itself based on what we consistently think, feel, and say. When you speak powerful affirmations daily, especially with intention and emotion, you are sending your brain clear, repeated messages about how to think and behave. These repeated messages start to create real, measurable changes in neural pathways. The brain begins to strengthen the circuits that align with these phrases, making those thoughts more automatic and accessible in daily life. It's important to understand that rewiring through language doesn't happen instantly. The brain requires repetition, consistency, and emotional engagement. You're not just saying words, you are conditioning your mind. Think of it like going to the gym. The first day doesn't give you results, but showing up consistently and pushing yourself creates lasting transformation. The same principle applies to these daily phrases. Repetition of powerful, positive language, especially spoken out loud, stimulates the same neural circuits over and over, reinforcing the belief systems and behaviors you want to adopt. Moreover, These phrases have the power to interrupt negative thought loops. The moment a disempowering belief begins to creep in, replacing it with a trained spoken phrase can redirect your brain's focus and emotional state. You gain control over how you feel, how you think, and how you act. You become more resilient, more intentional, and more aware of how your internal world is shaping your external results. The truth is, your brain is always listening. Every word you speak, especially about yourself, either reinforces limitation or builds a new identity. And when you deliberately choose phrases that reflect strength, purpose, and growth, your brain doesn't just hear it, it begins to believe it. And once belief takes root, change becomes inevitable. Focus, resilience, and clarity are not traits you're simply born with. They are mental skills that can be trained, strengthened, and refined through deliberate repetition and consistent intention. When you begin each day by speaking phrases that guide your attention, embrace discomfort, and align with your core values, you're doing more than motivating yourself. You are programming your brain to operate with precision, strength, and purpose. Every word spoken with intention acts like a mental GPS, pointing your nervous system toward the direction you want it to go. Clarity emerges when your daily words align with your deepest values. When you say, I choose actions that align with my values, you are teaching your brain to filter decisions through integrity. You build a mental framework where distractions and temptations lose their grip, because your path is lit by your personal truth. The more you remind yourself of this alignment, the clearer your decisions become. You start to operate from a place of grounded purpose rather than scattered urgency. By speaking these kinds of phrases daily, you're not just reciting words, you're engaging the brain's learning systems. You're activating mental circuits responsible for self-regulation, decision-making, and stress adaptation. Over time, these repeated phrases don't just inspire you, they transform the way your brain works under pressure. Focus sharpens, resilience grows, clarity deepens. You become mentally prepared to face the world with strength and intention. The same principle applies to affirmations, like my identity is shaped by what I do daily. Saying this doesn't just reinforce action, it creates awareness. You begin to realize that your repeated behaviors are building your character, and you start taking those daily actions more seriously. It shifts your focus from wishing for results to showing up with consistency. Your brain starts associating small daily wins with larger identity shifts, reinforcing motivation and discipline. Words like, I move forward no matter how small the step, give your brain permission to value progress over perfection. They break the paralysis of overwhelm and redirect your focus toward momentum. Even a single task completed becomes fuel for your belief system. Repetition of this phrase wires your brain to recognize that effort, even minimal, is still meaningful. Speaking these kinds of intentional words daily is like giving your brain a script for success. Over time, it stops questioning your direction and starts aligning with it. Thought patterns shift, emotional responses evolve, and most importantly, actions begin to mirror the identity you're speaking into existence. The cycle is powerful. What you say becomes what you believe, and what you believe becomes how you live. Habits are not just routines you follow, they are the invisible architecture of your identity. What you do every day writes the story of who you are becoming. When you say, my identity is shaped by what I do daily, you remind yourself that it's not talent, luck, or even motivation that defines success, but the consistency of your behavior. Every small act, waking up early, choosing focus over distraction, moving your body, speaking with integrity. These are not just tasks, they are statements. They declare to your brain and to the world, this is who I am. The brain thrives on patterns. It seeks repetition because repetition means efficiency. The more you repeat a behavior, the less effort it requires, and the deeper it gets wired into your neural circuitry. When your daily habits reflect the identity you want to build, your brain begins to operate in alignment with that vision. It no longer sees discipline as a burden, but as part of your default mode. This shift creates a powerful momentum, one where progress becomes natural, not forced. Daily spoken phrases reinforce this identity. When you say them and follow them with aligned action, your habits and your words start to work in harmony. Saying, I take care of my mind and body daily, and then actually doing it, even in a small way, cements that identity. You no longer wait for motivation to act. Your identity demands it. Your brain recognizes this is what we do now and builds a sense of pride and certainty around those consistent behaviors. The brain constantly absorbs signals from the environment, whether consciously or subconsciously. This includes visual cues, sounds, conversations, and even the posture and emotions of people around you. If you are surrounded by clutter, negativity, or individuals who drain your energy or limit your thinking, your brain internalizes that reality. It becomes harder to focus, harder to feel energized, and harder to maintain belief in your goals. But when you intentionally shape your environment, clearing out physical chaos, curating uplifting people, placing visual reminders of your goals, you change what your brain processes and how it reacts. You create a space that reinforces your purpose instead of fighting against it. This idea isn't just external. Internal environment matters just as much. Your thoughts, emotional responses, and mental habits create an inner space that either supports or sabotages your potential. This is not just a mindset. This is neuroscience in action. The phrases you speak daily light up circuits related to motivation, reward, attention, and emotional regulation. Your brain is being trained to focus on progress, to handle setbacks with resilience, and to expect growth. These aren't random thoughts floating in your mind. They become embedded cues that your brain uses to respond more powerfully to life. When you pair words with physical actions, the effect compounds. For example, saying, I am in control of my focus, and then sitting down to work with full attention reinforces that circuit. The phrase becomes associated with the action, and the more you repeat the cycle, the more efficient it becomes. Eventually, your brain stops needing conscious reminders. Your behavior becomes automatic, aligned with your spoken commands. These daily phrases are not passive. They are active tools. They are instructions, rituals, and identity-building codes that tell your brain what to believe, how to behave, and where to go next. Speak them with strength, repeat them with consistency, and your mind will follow. This is the essence of rewiring, training your brain through deliberate language to become the engine of your transformation. The power to transform your life doesn't begin with massive action or sudden breakthroughs. It begins with the words you choose to speak every single day. Your brain is always listening, always adapting, and always responding to the signals you give it. When you speak with purpose, when you declare who you are becoming, and when you repeat phrases that align with strength, clarity, and growth, you begin to rewire your brain at the deepest level. This isn't about surface level motivation. This is about changing your identity, your habits, and your emotional resilience from the inside out. Every phrase you speak becomes a seed planted in your mind, one that grows with repetition, emotion, and belief. Over time, those seeds become thoughts, those thoughts become actions, and those actions define the life you live. Your words are not empty. They are commands. They are blueprints. And when used intentionally, they can elevate every area of your life. Success, confidence, discipline, focus. All of these are built daily. And the foundation is the language you use with yourself. Speak powerfully, speak deliberately, and speak consistently. Because the most powerful transformation doesn't come from outside. It begins with what you say when no one is watching. And if you master your words, you will master your mind. And once you master your mind, nothing can hold you back.